Hey guys, Az here at Shield Canine. I want to talk about dog aggression directed towards children. This is a topic that I get a lot of people that are concerned about, their dog potentially being aggressive towards children. What can we do to prevent it from ever happening? So let's talk a little bit about it. First of all, most of the aggression we see towards children falls into about 3 categories. So the most common one that we see, fear aggression. So the dog is actually afraid of the child or insecure about the child and lashes out. And a lot of the time, some of these dogs will actually live with a child, be okay with the child they live with, but it's strange children. That's when you'll see that fear aggression manifest itself in the dog, snapping or directing, vocal aggression or actual, physical aggression with the actual intent to bite towards children. Now, this is actually the safest of all the aggressions because the goal of the dog is not to actually kill the child or to severely hurt the child. The goal of the dog is to make the child go away. It's basically a defense mechanism. I'm not saying it shouldn't be corrected. Of course it should be corrected. But this is the one that is most common and also the one that is least dangerous. Generally, a fearful dog is not going to bite all that badly. It's going to be a small frontal bite. Usually it's a nip. A lot of the time when a fearful dog bites somebody, even a child, there's not even a hospital trip. Number 2, we've got resource guarding. Okay, this one's slightly more severe. Again, usually the dog that resource guards and will bite a child over this, they'll generally do that with anybody, so it's not specific to children. Generally it's a bit more of a severe bite, but again, the goal of the dog is not to actually kill or injure. It's, hey, get away from my stuff. This is mine. The third one, and thankfully the most rare, on the fingers of one hand I can count how many dogs I've met that have this, prey aggression towards children. Like actual prey aggression, where the dog actually has the intent to catch the child and, kill the child, because that's what dogs really want to do with prey, is catch it, grab it, shake it, kill it, take it apart. That's the most dangerous. So let's jump back to signs and symptoms, all right? So the fear-aggressive dog, how's he going to tell you that he's fearful of children? Well, he's going to spot children, and when he does, he's going to hackle up, he's going to start growling, he might bark. Usually the dog will actually bark and back up. There'll be a lot of noise generally. The dog will make a lot of noise and will act really sketchy and skitsy. That's generally the symptoms of a fear-aggressive dog. This is the most common one, and these are the symptoms. And again, the way that you address this, I'm not going to get into methodology, but you address this with very strong obedience training. The most important thing that you can do right now is stop allowing children to touch the dog. Keep the dog separate from children until you can get good training to fix the problem. Now, resource guarding. Again, this is very self-explanatory. The dog will guard things, okay? He's guarding a toy, he's guarding a food, he's guarding a bone. Generally, the dog will be growling over the thing, okay? So in this circumstance, the thing that you can do right away, minimize access to the resources. So if your dog is food aggressive and you have children in the house, put the dog in the crate, feed him in the crate, then take him out of the crate. If he likes to grab toys, and he grabs his toys and he'll guard his toys and stuff, take away his toys. You should have no access to the toys until that dog can be trained and receive the corrective measures necessary for him to be able to enjoy resources again. Now, the third and least common, thank God, type of aggression towards children is the prey aggression. This is the most rare and also the most dangerous, because this is a dog that will hospitalize, disfigure, and actually kill a child. All right? And he'll probably have fun doing it. I hate to break it to you. This doesn't come out of nowhere. You'll see a lot of precursors. If you have a dog that has very high prey drive and no ability to regulate him or herself, you'll see a lot of the ideation, because usually it doesn't just bang, he's been very good with kids and all of a sudden he attacks. You see it sometimes, but it's not the most common thing. Usually you'll see a lot of intensity directed towards children, like the children running by, and he's kind of going after them, and he sees children, his ears come up, he starts, high-pitched whining, like, very excited. The same kind of behavior you would see if he saw a bunny rabbit or a squirrel or you threw a ball. That same behavior directed towards children. And that's when you say, okay, I see this. And a lot of the times it'll manifest itself little by little. All of a sudden, you'll get the dog that actually will try to kill the kid. And if you notice this, immediately, severe corrective measures need to be taken. You need to make sure you build an association in your dog's head between going after children and very, very bad things. No, the answer is, again, not treats or any of that type of stuff. It's to really create a severe aversion to the behavior. In many cases, if you catch the dog in the lower escalation phases, I truly believe you can remove the behavior. Once you have a dog that's already had a severe attack and puts big teeth marks into a child, he's already basically satisfied his prey drive. You know, for lack of a better word, he's been successful. That is the time when I think you put the dog down. No ifs, ands, or buts. If your dog is exhibiting the precursors and you've really done all you can in the training, like this happens sometimes too, where it's like you've done all you can, you've suppressed the behavior, but you can tell that it's still in his head that he would like to go after a child and hurt a child, and you know, you've gone to a professional and they've been like, yeah, you know, he would like to still kill a child or grab a child. Again, think about maybe putting the dog down. I deal with a lot of working dogs here. Working dogs have much higher prey drive than usual, okay? And sometimes you'll see that drift where the dog will start to perceive that, hey, it's not just balls, it's not just toys, it's not just the bite sleeve, it could be kids or it could be anybody. That's when you really need to be careful. You need to be on your game. If it's a working dog that's a service animal in terms of like he's a police dog and he's always under, you know, due care and control, again, I don't like it, but you know, if that's the scenario, fine. But that dog is always dangerous. Let's talk about the breeds that generally severely injure, if not actually kill children. Most common one that comes to mind, Pit Bull Terrier. Most of them, to be honest, are Pit Bull mixes. There's certain genetic predispositions towards high level of prey drive or gameness, as the dog fighting people call it, that, you know, is in the genetic background of a lot of pit bulls. A dog can have extremely high prey drive and be completely safe around children. I've owned numerous dogs that are like that. Very high prey drive, you know, extreme protection work, but completely safe around children because they've never drifted into that category. They've always been kept under due care and control, and you know, any precursors when they were younger were harshly corrected, and they just never go that direction. I've seen, not a lot, but I've seen it sometimes where the dog does exhibit that ideation, and in that case, look, man, either put the dog in a situation where he'll never get the children ever, or put the dog down, because it's not worth a child's life. Again, even in the working dogs, it's not common, but you're more likely to see it there. Huskies have killed children too. You know, again, a dog that sometimes has high prey drive. Suffice to say, these are some of the things that you should probably know about dog aggression that's directed towards children.